I haven't bet in so long. I bet for Champions League last week, and it's been a week. I feel lost in this world without it.
Really?
Yeah. I've been doing this terrible thing instead.
Dude, you didn't fade Chelsea? You didn't fade Chelsea this week? It was free money.
I forgot to bet Premier League this weekend. I have been doing this new thing, which is a really terrible addiction, is every time I take a poop, I end up going on Bovada and playing Blackjack until I'm done with said poop.
You have to stop that. You're going to lose.
I've lost so much money, but I can't help it because now I feel like I'm making money while I'm taking a shit. But I never do.
It's costing you money to shit. So the only I talked to Andy about this a long time ago. The only time I thought I had like online blackjack figured out because their spread was too long, and I thought the martingale would work because like they let you start with like 50 cents. You could play a 50-cent hand, and then you could like double it every time, and you could bet all the way up to like $700 or $1,000 on a hand of blackjack, and like nobody has spreads that big.
Yeah.
Right. So it was working for me for probably like a solid 3 weeks until like the one time it didn't, and I lost.
You lost it all.
And I was playing 3 hands at a time or whatever. Yeah. So I got all the way up to the 700, and then I lost, and I was like, well, do I play it again? I don't want to play it again. And the way I was playing it and the way it was working is I was just going until the dealer busts. So I would win along the way, right? Yeah. But I would go until the dealer busts, and then I would reset. And it literally worked for a long time. But then once I lost, I was like, I think I was still I was not still up. I was not still up.
No, it's a dangerous game. I realize how dangerous it is. But I'm like, at least if not, I'd be doing a crossword puzzle. Or like on Instagram, wasting my time. Crossword puzzles, there's value to it. But I was just like, I might as well make some money while I take a shit. And it doesn't work that well.
I did cash out. I did cash out at one point. So I think I may have still been up. But I was also so far up again, and then I lost like all of it. It was all.
I'm like almost certain once computers get involved in games of chance, it's like 1,000% rigged.
Oh, I agree with you. They'll always like. I don't think anybody's ever lost their first hand of blackjack. If you play,
got an incredible hit rate. So that's the move. You play one hand of blackjack at every book online that offers it.
I have
for the max.
I have done that. I mean, I'm not saying that it's 100% hit rate, but I have definitely gone on and played like 3 hands and like gone 2 of 3 and been like, all right, I'm done. Yeah. I know that this shit's rigged because I played before, and I know that I know they figured out my martingale shit, and they're like, all right, well now we're just not gonna bust. We're gonna play regular, and dealer never busts.
So like the dealer,
he had to not bust like
he hit a
20 hands in a row.
Like,
I was starting from like a quarter. I was starting from like a quarter a hand. He had to not bust 20 times in a row for me to lose.
Some of my books give me like
6 aces in a row.
Some of my books give me like casino bonuses or like slots bonuses. That's the only time I've ever gone away from sports betting is I'll go use the bonus, and like I'll be done with my 20 free spins or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, I'm up $6. But then I'll calculate like how much those 20 spins would have cost me if they weren't free, and it would have cost me like $15. And I'm like, this is so dumb.
No,
I just get my $6 free and I go home.
Slot machines online make no sense. Literally, like they're barely regulated as is. Like they're lightly regulated.
I don't think slot machines make sense. Period. Like, there's nothing that seems fun to me. Like, especially now that you don't actually pull an arm. Like, you literally just are pushing a button over and over again for hours. Like, no, thank you.
Well, everyone's like, there's 15 lines. I'm like, 15 lines. What the hell does that mean? They're like, well, you want a diagonal and an up. I'm like,
yeah. And like the games, all the games have different like side rules inside of it, and games inside of games. I'm like, I don't know what any of this is.
You know what it's turned into? Playing slot machines is like buying a scratchy, but like you're just scratching the bottom of the ticket and seeing if you won. You know what I mean? You're not actually playing the bingo game to see like if you get enough.
And also, they bring you like cheap drinks or free drinks while you do it.
I guess that's.
I mean, that's why all the scumbags play slots because they. Nobody
plays slots for the free drinks.
I'll stick to sports betting and poker, where all I have to do is be smarter than the guy next to me and not smarter than the casino.
You're not going to get good service at the slots, that's for sure.
Andy, have you ever played craps? I feel like you would love it. It's such a communal, like addictive game, and the odds are not the worst. Let's put it that way. They're not in your favor, but they're not the worst.
Best odds.
So
the odds can be in your favor, Matt.
I don't know if I've ever played craps. If I have, I was so drunk that I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played craps sober.
Aren't there odds in your favor when the button's on and they have like a 12 or no, when you have a 6 or an 8
on the button?
And you have odds on the back, right?
You have to back up the pass line with odds. Yes.
Yeah.
Then
the odds are in your favor.
In that circumstance.
There's zero.
It's one of the few, but it's one of the few
even odds
plus money. It's better than even. It's plus money depending on the payout. Depending on the odds they're giving you, it's usually a plus money bet.
But you have to bet odds on craps, and that's like because no one cares about the irregular pass line. You could bet 1-1 or get 2-1 for your money. Like, well, I'm going to do the 2-1. In order to make it worthwhile, it's just an incredibly costly game. If it's not like $5 craps, because then you're like, well, I got $40 that says this next roll isn't a 7. It's like
the problem that I have when I'm playing craps is I'll like start wanting to play if it's like even if it's like a low level one, I'll want to play the game within the game or whatever where you're doing the what's
the shoe.
Not the shoe. Not the horn. It's like the pass, but you're playing it while the button's on.
Oh, I love
the cum
all over it.
Yes, the cum.
Yeah, you have to play the cum because the cum you win if it's a 7 on anything but the first roll, right? And then you're getting odds on everything when the cum plays out, right? So say it's a 5, you put odds on the 5, and then you bet the cum again. The problem there is you just have money all over the table. It's awesome if it's like a 20 roll go, you win $1,000.
When you're betting on cum, it's easy to blow your wad.
It is.
Oh God, I was trying to hit you with a bunch of those, and I couldn't even get through one. Oh.
Would you gentlemen like to chug a beer with me?
Sure, let's do it.
Who's ready to chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks? Welcome to ChuggieBets.
Good stuff. So Matt, you said you haven't bet since Champions League last week. I don't think I've placed a bet since the Super Bowl.
Oh man,
I don't think so.
All right, so
I don't think so.
Matt, did you watch any Premier League even if you didn't bet on it?
I watched the mornings Saturdays before going to the Renaissance Festival.
Did you watch any of the Carabao Cup at least?
No, I don't.
Did you watch the video that I sent you of Rashford scoring a goal and then saying that was an own goal? Because that was fucking bullshit.
They call it the Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup. It's Carabao? Carabao?
Yeah.
Carabao.
Yeah.
I
when
did
you're here, your family.
Yeah. I did see it. I didn't watch the Chelsea game. I golfed instead. I figured that was a better investment of my time, and it seems like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I had talking about the Chelsea game. So every bet I made was exactly how I thought the game would go. Like it was so obvious. Like we were gonna get chances. We were gonna put it off the woodwork. That shit happened, right? We had good chances and we missed them. And they had good chances, and they have Harry Kane, so he knocks that shit home.
You said all those bets, Danny, and I was like, those sound like those are the bets I would have made the day before. But then moments before kickoff, I'm like, no, Chelsea's gonna figure it out this time. So dumb. No, they didn't.
Yeah. I lied. I did bet on Saturday. I bet Leeds to win because the new manager bump. I think is what I sent to you boys. I'm like,
Did they win?
Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah, that hit.
Who
scored for them? Who scored for them?
I don't remember.
It was a weird guy, right? It wasn't Rodrigo or one of the Americans.
Yeah.
I watched it and I couldn't tell you who scored.
You're really enthralled.
No, I think it was like a defender or something. I think it was a guy who never scores.
It was.
Oh, the first guy from Tottenham who scored against us it was like Skip something. I've never even heard of it. It was some guy who never scored.
He scored in 7 minutes or something, right? It was
it was dumb.
So what happened with Hakeem Ziyech? I saw he got a yellow, and then I saw he got a red, and then I saw he didn't get a red.
Hakeem Ziyech was in the middle of a scrum. A guy, like, they were all arguing. It was a chippy game, and a guy ran in and kind of bodied him up. Like he was running in to join the scrum, and he kind of like gave him a shoulder, and Ziyech turned around and slapped his ass in the face.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and it definitely should have been a straight red. And the referee gave it straight. Like I sent you a text. I was like, he should have got straight red. And then like the referee thought about it for a while, gave him straight red. And then VAR came back and was like, no, we can't give you a red card. We don't want Chelsea to like get relegated. So,
today,
yeah, it's like sometimes the refs are on your team. That was one of the times like it was a. Tell the joke, Al. Just say it.
No.
Yeah, it looked like it was a disastrous game. And I was listening to like my normal podcast rotation on a Monday morning. Like I listened to some Chelsea.
Dude, it really wasn't that disastrous. It was boring. It was a boring.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard. It's like nothing's gotten better. You can't score one goal in February. We've scored 7 goals since November. 7. Granted, there's a World Cup in there, so like those numbers are a little misguided, but 7.
But we won the XG battle again. Potter wins on XG every match.
Did we actually win the XG battle versus Tottenham?
I mean, we were up on XG before Kane's goal, but I think Kane's goal was like a 0.8 XG because he scores from so close every time. I don't know how he's always just like has the ball at the 18 and all of a sudden he's shooting from right in front of the goalie.
I want to know what happened in the West Ham game. That under was looking real nice by about the 70-minute mark, and then the Hammers probably doubled their goal total on the season in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was one of the worst bets because I actually did make that one. I followed you in on that as well. I'm saying I didn't bet. I'm a liar. Nottingham Forest and West Ham 0-0. What was the spread was 2.5, right?
Yeah.
So going into the 70th minute, you felt great. Then I don't know what happened, but 4 goals happened in 12 minutes.
Like I literally think West Ham might have doubled their goals for the season. They could not score all year. Why does
Antonio probably didn't get one of them, right?
No, he didn't. He didn't even play.
He did get one. I think he did get one.
No, he didn't.
He
like 2 years ago, he was awesome. He was like playing great, and I think he's just old now. That happens fast to strikers.
Yeah, he did in the 85th minute. He got subbed on.
He was never as good as like an Alba, but I still like watching him come on and like when he's still like fit and everybody else is tired, he can still do it.
I do. I didn't watch any soccer though. I watched very little sports this weekend. It seems like I missed out on a great weekend of sports. I was reading about all the college basketball highlights where I was watching
I missed all the college basketball because of Renfest, man.
So Miami FSU, right? I knew that game was coming up, and I was like, "Oh, this is an obvious win for Miami." Mental note: might want to check that score. And then I'm out having drinks with a buddy, and he went to FSU, and he's like, "Ooh, 81-80 Miami with like under a minute to go." So I pull it up on my phone, and we're watching it. And you probably could have predicted exactly how that game was going to end. Like Miami gets the ball, or like FSU scores a bucket, Miami's down 1, and Jordan Miller like drills a beautiful 3 with like 2.6 seconds left or something, and you're like, oh,
Larry schemed him up wide open.
Exactly what's going to happen. While he's celebrating, and the dude runs across and hits a long 3, and beater number 4 on the day that took Kane's down.
Yeah, I saw what was the Arizona State had a buzzer beater also. Like that one was like a 3-quarter shot. And then the game of the week, from what I can gather, is whatever the hell happened with Iowa. I don't know if Andy, you watched this. I know you're a Big Ten fan, but I did see
stare down. You're talking about the stare down. Yeah.
But that game seemed like it was crazy. Andy, did you watch that?
I did not, but I don't like Iowa's coach, Fran McCaffrey. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Never. Have you ever met a good guy named Fran? They all are old pricks, I feel like.
Tarkenton might be a nice guy. Who knows?
Yeah, he actually seems pretty chill.
Yeah, not a fan. And his son plays on the team too. Also a jerk.
If you're a professional coach and your son plays on your team, are you a jerk?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your child is entitled, and you are a jerk.
I can't say anything because our
100 hit rate.
Our coach's son played on the team till he graduated last year. So, I mean, he didn't actually play. I think he got like 30 seconds of playing time on senior night, but he was on the team.
Oh yeah, is that buddy?
There's a big difference between letting your son live his dream as a walk-on and like being, Doc Rivers.
But so I want to make sure I understood everything that happened in this game. Iowa was a 6-point favorite from what I've gathered. Michigan State was up 16 with 2 minutes left. So literally had a 22-point.
Oh, yeah, I did actually see the highlights of that one now that you say
like that. Bumper. The Francis goes out there and stares a referee in the face. And somehow Iowa scores 16 points in a minute and a half, and the game goes to overtime. Did I get that?
It was 10 points. It was 10
that
last minute and a half too, or something like that. It was almost. It wasn't Reggie Miller shit, but it felt like Reggie Miller shit.
Like when you hear that someone came back from like down 16 to like force overtime, you're thinking, oh, they just got hot and hit every shot and had a couple turnovers. But like, I'm pretty sure Iowa was like missing threes. I think they missed like at least like 2 or 3. So like, it's just an epic collapse.
Just clanking, and then they were getting offensive rebounds and shooting them back up.
They made 4 3-pointers in the last 32 seconds. They were down 10 in under a minute. 10. I don't know what the math is on that, but I imagine that has to be what are the chances? 0.05%, something like egregious for that to happen.
That would have been a completely green circle on Action Network.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a completely green circle. I mean, the greatest comeback in history is that Reggie Miller game where he had like 16 points in 9 seconds or something like that, or whatever it was, and or 9 points in 16 seconds. That if the reverse would be impossible.
Didn't someone just do like 8 points in 15 seconds or 12 seconds or something like earlier this year?
Luka Doncic scored just unreal amount of points in like the last 20 seconds. Like I think it was like 10 or 11 points to win a game.
It still wasn't as good as Reggie though. Everybody was saying that Reggie was better on the talking thing. So
up 10, minute left. You're cashing that ticket in your head, right? You had 16 points.
Yeah, I'm already placing the next bet with that ticket.
See, I might be the only person in the world apparently who is doing like the next generation calculus, trying to figure out how this bet loses in that scenario.
You just shame yourself.
Okay. I'm like, I just need them to not give up 3 threes in a row, turn the ball over 6 times, and just make 1 free throw. And then like it doesn't happen, and they lose. And I'm like, I knew it was gonna happen.
I was like the definition of loves it when they're taking the chips away more.
I hate it. I hate that I am this way. I think it's being a Lions fan.
I mean, I've never felt more alive than when I'm losing. Winning's just regular. Losing's like
just so rare for you.
Oh
no, that's not what I meant. That is not what I meant. But like when you place a bet, you think it's gonna win. You never place a bet thinking it's gonna lose.
No.
All the way up until the end, you're like, I'm like thinking of ways. Oh, like
the Chase, I think. Chase is like the hottest.
Ja'Cory Harris is gonna throw 3 touchdowns in the last 90 seconds of this game, and somehow I'm gonna cover this shit. But
when you start like 0-3 on the day, and then you're like, fuck this, I'm doubling down on all my remaining bets. Like, let's just commit to it.
That's just blackjack on the shitter.
I've never gone 0-9.
Blackjack on the shitter.
I wish I had Andy's discipline. I honestly do. I mean, I feel like it's less fun, but But I do wish I had Andy's discipline because he definitely is better at like just riding with the bets that he placed the day before. I on the other hand, like when they took that Rashford goal away, I doubled down on Rashford to score again.
I always, when I go into a casino, I always assume I'm going to lose, which I think makes it less joyful, right? And same thing with sports betting. I'm always like, yeah, I'm going to probably lose this money. And I do okay. I do well enough to win money, but I feel like I want to be like Danny, where I'm like, I know I'm going to win this bet. And then be surprised when it doesn't win, because I feel like that's a much more like joyful existence.
I'm shocked.
It would have won if it weren't for the league being rigged. in whatever sport it is.
That's true. They would all be winners.
Rape's a strong word right now, especially if we're talking about soccer.
Rigged.
Oh, rigged. I thought you said rape. Sorry.
I mean, Danny, what's on your mind?
Hakimi got an accusation that came out.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Who's Hakimi?
He was like a defender. He's like one of the best defenders in the world. He had a glow up during the World Cup. Everybody kind of
Morocco.
Yeah.
He plays for PSG, and he's really, really good.
Yeah, he's awesome. But anyway, we don't need to go into that. I didn't. I thought you would mention it, and I thought I would just like.
Yeah.
I figured you guys had all heard about it already.
You know what's crazy? Can I pivot, or maybe we want to talk about
Pivot hard?
No, well, why don't you guys talk about that terrible thing I brought up? I'm gonna go get a beer.
Okay. You guys saw the Russell Wilson story, right?
Wait, Matt, sorry, pause. We should totally pretend like we went super deep dive on a very serious topic the second Danny gets back down.
Oh no, but let's just like reference the story, like the rape of the lock. Be like, it was a great rape. I can't believe how great the rape was, but it's literally like the old classic.
So first pick on the podcast, we're doubling down on rape this weekend.
Rape of the lock, classic. It's number one. And he just
you want to talk about Mr. Limited though?
Yeah, I do want to talk about Mr. Limited. Andy, are you there? Did you read the story? All the nonsense about him?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if Russell Wilson's image needed another hit, but here it is.
I don't have the athletic subscription, so I've only caught like snippets. But basically, he tried to get the whole front office fired, threw everyone under the bus, and like I'm saying, lock of the week. We're doubling down. Put your bet in for a rape to definitely occur this weekend. Welcome back, Danny.
I heard a word as soon as I put my headphones on, and
it was intentional.
So I've never seen a glow down. I know like the term glow up. I don't know what the opposite of a glow up is.
It's an accusation.
Well, no, we're not talking about that anymore.
No, we moved on to Russell Wilson.
That's a glow down. That's a glow down, yeah.
Right? Everyone loved Mr. Unlimited, and as soon as he got traded, I guess he was trying to get Pete Carroll fired. And I think Pete Carroll's proven that he's a pretty good coach, right? Like, maybe he's not a bad coach, right, Danny?
He's got almost all of the NFL talking heads.
How many people have done that? Like him and Jimmy Johnson?
He's got almost everyone who talks football thinking Geno Smith is a good quarterback. Like, think of that sentence.
What do you mean thinking?
Like we think Geno Smith is good now.
We know.
Not this guy. Not this guy.
It's not the case. Yeah.
I put a future bet in last year. I thought Seattle would be the worst team in the NFL. The worst team. And they were clearly not at all the worst team in the NFL.
I mean, my Geno Smith comeback player of the year cash, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, yeah. So he clearly, they force him out of Seattle, right? And they don't tell Denver. They're like, yeah, what do you got? A couple first rounders? That seems fair. We're moving on. We're going to tank for a little while. They didn't realize, like, he sucks. He goes there. He starts making demands. He gets an office. His office should be like the locker room, right? But he has his own standalone office. And I can't think of a lamer place in the world than being in Russell Wilson's office. I was talking to you guys, and I don't know if you
what does his office look like? I feel like it's probably one of those Luxembourg branch offices where they just have like a broom closet and they put Luxembourg branch on it, so it looks like it's like for tax purposes only. It just says Luxembourg.
It looks like a bathroom. It looks like the bathroom that your wife redecorated by herself, or like generic like white woman bathroom.
I mean, okay, you say that, but my wife's an architect, so.
But like there's lots of grays and eggshell, and there's a ficus in the corner, and like framed expressions.
I bet he has a.
It feels like what's the word? Like like a doctor's office.
Or sterile.
Sterile. Yes, thank you.
I bet he has a sand garden. And he gets really mad at you if you mess up the pattern that he
a very tiny one, or a very tiny one, or like a full office in a sand garden.
not the whole office, but something that's like substantial, a couple of feet in diameter. And he every morning meticulously puts a little pattern. And if you mess it up, he gets pissed.
Even if it's an accident, you like kind of like touch the rake. He totally acts like it's no big deal and he's totally cool about it, but he super fucking cares about it and he hates you now.
Yeah,
I would be willing to bet that Russell Wilson has a poster of himself playing for Wisconsin on his wall.
Black and white or sepia tones.
Does it have any words on the poster, or is it just a picture of him?
It says unlimited.
It does say unlimited. Yep, in like a generic font in white text.
Life is limited, but Russell's unlimited, or some stupid motivational phrase that makes no sense.
And on the other wall, it's him in an apron and a chef hat, and it says "Let Russ cook."
Oh God!
Does unlimited have quotes around it, like a period in quotes, like he's quoting himself, or is it?
No, it's like unlimited? It's him wearing his full gear, but he's like going like this around the word unlimited above his head. He's just like this.
Like I want.
He's like this.
Here it says unlimited.
It says unlimited. That's the poster.
That's literally that we just figured it out.
Yeah.
I said in the chat today, I'm pretty sure he's got one of those like expertly machined cubes that
100%
looks like it has no seams until you know how to pull it apart just right, and that's like a very complicated 2-piece puzzle.
Yeah,
he for sure has that on his desk.
I couldn't agree more.
Do you think he has pictures of Future's kids?
Probably, right?
I think he has like child actors posing with him and has that framed as a picture as his family because he doesn't want people to know what his family looks like, but he wants it to look like it's his family.
I think he just. What I think he does is he has the stock photo of the things that comes like from the Sears thing.
Yeah.
But he cuts out his face and he pastes it on top of it. But he doesn't even go under to the stock photo. He just puts it over the glass. He pastes his face over the glass.
Do you think Russ is really good at Photoshop, or do you think he's got a Photoshop guy he pays like 7 figures?
No, that's one of his entourage guys.
I think he does like scissors around a picture that he prints and then he pastes it over the glass.
Like the colors don't match up at all. They're like different tones for sure. It's very crudely done.
Well, I think the frame is kind of old. All the heads have like fallen down to the bottom of the frame, and you're like, this is terrifying.
So I got a question, right? Like if you have an entourage, everybody in your entourage has like their own job, right? Like in the TV show Entourage, Turtle was like the weed guy and the driver, right? Like he's the money guy. What is the lamest job you can have in an entourage?
Everyone has
Photoshop guy?
Entourage. The other job being that they're the yes man.
I mean, Johnny Drama was the cook. I think cook is
and the muscle.
Yeah, and the muscle. Yeah, I think Johnny Drama had the best jobs. I think E had the lamest jobs in. Like he was like the manager. He had to he was basically Ari's bitch.
Yeah, like the phone call guy, the guy who has to like handle phone calls. That's the guy who's like the bottom of the totem pole. As far as
I think E thought he was head of the top of the entourage, but he was really at the bottom.
For sure, that's exactly how it works. The phone guy is the guy who thinks he's at the top, but he's at the bottom.
Yeah.
But if we're just gonna make up positions, right? Like,
well, E would have been My point is, E would have been Photoshop guy, right? E was totally Photoshop guy.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even watched the show. I just know what they look like, and I know that's accurate.
I would much rather
Mike Norvell.
Phone call guy. Watch your mouth. Phone call guy instead of being Russell Wilson's hype man. Having to listen to his like fucking nonsense prattle and be like, yeah, of course you're unlimited, bro. Just like doing that shit all the time. I would kill myself. I'd rather
about like the mundane shit every single day.
Like
so
I feel like if you're
pumping too slow, he's like, it doesn't matter. I got you, Mr. Unlimited. Have a seat. I'll top off the tank.
I feel like if you're in Russ's entourage, you're probably somebody who's probably closer to the same page as Russ than we are, right? Like I'm just saying he might like hyping up Russ.
Oh.
You know?
Do you think?
I mean, the zeros in my paycheck would get me hyped, I guess. But
no, I mean, for example, like I constantly compliment my friends. For just an example, right? If you guys are looking handsome one day, I will be the first to tell you. Yes, Al's beard, definitely not Matt's beard.
Aw,
That's harsh.
That's harsh.
But Matt's mullet, when Matt's mullet is always looking good.
Yeah.
It's mullet season, by the way.
Andy's sky-high pitching wedges.
I do like playing golf with you. You make me feel good about myself. That's true.
So yeah, I think Russell.
I'm just saying, if the guy's in the entourage, maybe he just like you pick people to be in your entourage. You know, it's not like hiring strangers.
It's true. So maybe you think these people really like Russell Wilson, or they just like grew up next to him and they're like, "Hey, Russ, you want to give me a job? I'll hype you up, or I'll cut out photos of your face."
So like, there are hangers on, right? There definitely would be people like that would just like hype him up to do that. But like, I would guess Russ has some legit people in his life. I mean,
I'm not sure. I think so. The main thing I get from Russell Wilson is that he's a fake and that he doesn't want anyone to know him like on a personal level. He wants to like totally be like unknown, surface level. Like his nickname should be Mr. Surface Level. He doesn't want anyone to know anything more than like what he presents. And so I think he probably has excised a lot of people from his life. And his entourage is probably like people he like met like through his coach, you know, his personal coach, or probably like his buddies.
I hear what you're saying.
Thinks they're his.
One last entourage question. If one of our friends got rich and famous and we were going to be their entourage, what would our jobs be?
Is it weird that I think it depends on the friend?
No, that probably makes sense.
Yeah, you got to know.
So pick a friend. Pick somebody in the fantasy football league. Sunshine. Joey's a famous golfer.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I have a marketable enough skill where, like, I think I could be easily replaced, right? Like, I can do many things.
Yeah. You could be like his branding guy.
Yeah,
like,
your job is marketing. Market your skills.
Also, yeah, your job as an entourage is to be their friend.
I can do that job very well.
Really
I'm just assign the position. I don't know. I don't think I have a particular service.
I mean,
I got
tax guy wrapped up. I got
that
wrapped
you
up
have
in the
a very
entourage.
useful service for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Danny wins. He's the tax man.
I think I'd end up being phone call guy, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm scared that tax guy ends up default phone call guy.
Well, yeah.
Is phone call also business
You two end up resenting each other, Andy and Danny, because you two are the ones who are always talking the financials. And Joey has a good time, and you guys are like up each other's asses trying to sort out.
Trying to make sure Joey keeps his money.
Yeah, and Matt, the guy who can't figure out a skill, just ends up being the weed guy.
I can do that.
There's totally the whole like drug fence, right?
But the weed guy, I feel like the weed guy isn't necessary anymore. I mean, it's legal in Florida, so.
You know what? I'll be the hype man.
There are more illicit substances that. I mean, I'm not going to accuse Joey of partaking in, but, you know, the celebrities in general.
Yeah, how loose is your butthole, Matt?
Pretty loose.
All right, perfect.
I can attest to that.
Hired.
I could be the bed warmer upper. So Joey always gets into a warm bed.
That's nice.
I mean, I could be a cook. I know Al can cook.
Here you go.
We used to do it together.
Yeah. We can do it together again. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, handshake.
So what else do we want to talk about? We want to talk about Dame's game the other night.
Oh
yeah, I missed it entirely. I guess he put up 71. That seems like a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. They were almost all like deep 3-pointers or like driving to the hole. So you
guys talk about it. I'm gonna look something up.
He was hitting from like near half court 3-pointers. He was doing step backs from there because they started guarding him from that far, and he was just making everything. It was awesome. So I know all this. I did not watch the game live because I fell asleep, but I watched the entire replay, the whole game. It was awesome. But the entire sum, so he had 71 points, which is 2 more than an awesome number. But the entire sum of the distance of all of his shots was exactly 420 feet.
Nice.
Which, if he had just shanked, because he was 14 of 14 from line, if he had just shanked 2 of those free throws, they won by like 20 points. If he had just shanked 2 of those free throws, he could have scored 69 points from 420 feet. That would have been incredibly epic.
All right, so this may not be a good time for this, but it's what I want to present you guys. There have been 12 instances, I think. Hang on, let me make sure that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 instances of someone scoring 70 plus points in an NBA game. Do you want to take a stab at naming them all?
Okay. And I mean, Wilt, Kobe, Dame. We got those 3 off the bat.
Okay. So Wilt is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 of them. So we're down to 7. You said Kobe. That is 1, and Dame is 2. So that leaves
Donovan Mitchell did it
this year.
Donovan Mitchell did it. Yep. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. One guy I've never heard of.
George Mikan.
No, love it though.
Man, did Kareem do it?
Nope.
I don't know. I don't know anyone who's 71. LeBron.
Give me some arrows. Give me some arrows, and I'll make some guesses, bud.
Sure. So one person put up 70 6 years ago.
Luka.
No.
KD.
No.
It's a lot of points. You have to have like.
LeBron never did it, right?
He did it for the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, Devin Booker. Yeah, he did do it.
Yep.
I do remember that.
That's right. That was an overtime game, right?
Yeah. It was a long ass game.
And then you've got a 90s center and 60s guy.
Hakeem?
No, but that's a good guess.
Shaq? Shaq never put up 70.
You wouldn't have got the free throws.
It's like
if Shaq
the
put up
lame...
70, he'd still be saying
is it David Robinson or like?
It is David Robinson.
Yeah. Oh, I should have said Tim Duncan. It sounded like a Spur.
Yeah.
They must have been playing against a team with one center that was in foul trouble. He would not willingly shame another team that way, David Robinson.
It was against the Clippers, so that makes sense. And then Elgin Baylor is the other one you would have probably been able to name if I gave you 20 more guesses. And then whoever David Thompson is did it in the 70s.
That's the guy who owns Wendy's, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. David Thompson. The square patty.
Dave's double.
I want to give an honorable mention to Michael Jordan, who hung up 69 points in the 1990 matchup against the Cavs.
But how many feet did he shoot from when he did it?
It probably was 420.
So the thing about Dame's 420 feet he shot from is he's the first player ever to shoot for more than 400 feet.
Are those
something Steph Curry would have done, but
no, he's never scored that many.
Are those only made shots, Danny, or is like the total? Wow, that is a lot. What are things that are up 420 feet?
Thank you guys for humoring me on my.
No, I appreciate that. That was good.
160 yards.
Scored 62 points once. It doesn't have how many feet that equates to.
70 points is a huge number. Like that, I know, like no shit, right? But like scoring 50, I could see a bunch of guys. 70 is a lot. You have to go out there and you're dominating the ball. Like,
30 is the like I had a really, really good game tonight. 40 is the like I had a great game tonight. 50 is the like, all right, I do this once or twice in my career. The 60s and the 70s are the like, all right, I'm one of the best that does this once or twice in my career. So, and Dame hitting 70, and he had a 70 true shooting percentage tonight. He was awesome, or last night.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. I mean, a lot of points.
It's one of the best games anybody's ever had. I love that he did it all from 3. He almost broke Klay Thompson. He was 1-3 from breaking Klay Thompson's single game record.
I find it weird, like less notable round number. Like scoring 71, I'm like, okay, that doesn't really mean anything to me, like in context. But then you're like, well, Chamberlain scored 100. I'm like, that's 100.
He scored 101.
70, but
I thought Wilt was 101, wasn't it?
I think 100 on the nose.
Even
would you be more impressed if Dame Lillard had scored 70 points?
I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I think so, right?
It seems ridiculous.
It seems extraordinarily stupid.
So I would have been more impressed if he missed 2 of his free throws and scored 69. 100%. I would have been more impressed. The 69-420 game would have been literally the
legendary.
best.
He would have been the
most legendary
basketball line of all time. Like
it would have made Reddit explode and probably all the Fortnite servers.
Discords everywhere. So many people talking about 69-420 game.
Actually, my buddy suggested we should start a ChuggieBets Discord. I was like, I think I love that idea.
ChuggieBets Discord, it's gonna be just me.
Talking to yourself.
Just posting a bunch of sports stories with 4 random strangers that stumbled into our Discord.
I'll put everybody else on slow mode. I'll like mod my own thing. It'll be me. Nobody's there. I'll just talk.
Really quick, do you think is Dame Lillard's career going to look worse if he doesn't win a title, but he stays at Portland the whole time? Like, do you respect him staying at Portland, or should he go and chase the title?
You got to chase the title.
No, I think it'll look. Well, the thing is, it'll look worse if he chases the title and doesn't get it.
I mean, everyone gave Kevin Durant shit for going and joining Golden State or whatever.
Yeah,
win a title, and then he did it, and everyone's like, "Oh, Kevin Durant is the greatest." Like he's
I don't think
in the Hall of Fame. It's like, yeah, I don't know if people would have said that if he didn't go join a super team and win it.
I don't think Kevin Durant is one of the greatest. I don't think Kevin Durant gets credit for that title the way that team does.
Danny, what happened to your audio? You're kind of like far away from me.
I can hear you.
I can hear you, but it sounds like you're talking through a tin can.
I have a new headset. I thought it would sound better.
It sounded great until you moved a wire or something, and now it sounds like you're talking through a tin can on a string.
I don't know. Still not working?
Oh.
Here we go.
It's like, yeah, in and out. You're great. Ignore me.
Okay,
Keep going.
Can you hear me? Can you not hear me? Can you hear me? Can you not hear me?
We can hear you the entire time.
It sounds like you're calling in.
This is Dan on a mobile.
There you go.
Yeah, on mobile. What do you want?
First time, long time?
I'm gonna switch to the other headset if this one's not working great.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of good that Danny's audio cut out because I'm pretty sure he just said he doesn't think Kevin Durant is all that good.
No, he's great. He's legitimately one of the best basketball players I've ever watched. Like, everyone celebrates Michael Jordan because he's ruthless. That dude's a lot. He's got unbelievable skills also. Kevin Durant,
people gave LeBron James shit for going to South Beach to get his championship and dipping out of Cleveland. And then he won like 4 rings and no one cares about it anymore.
My least favorite thing about Kevin Durant is when somebody came up with the Slim Reaper nickname and he said he didn't like it. That's the greatest nickname ever.
Yeah,
that really is.
He's a loser.
He's embraced it now. Oh,
Can
you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying that I was just doing the Stu Gatz game before of I don't give him credit for that title. That was all.
You're taking it back? He has less titles in your personal record book?
Yeah, he should, in my personal record book, Kevin doesn't get that title.
Well, my personal record book, Dame Lillard scored 70. It's damn impressive.
69 in my personal record book.
He should have shaken 2 of those free throws. I don't think you get the feet of your shot for the free throws. So that's why I'm saying he should have shaken 2 of them.
Interesting.
Did you see Aaron Rodgers win in like the darkness chamber? Did you hear about this darkness chamber?
Yeah, I've heard nothing but the darkness chamber. It seems like for a week.
It's like not even upsetting to me. It's just like comical how much of a tool he is.
Is that not the tooliest shit? That was just my question. Right. Is that just like the lamest thing? Like, I actually kind of would love to try it for a day, right? And just see how weird it would be inside my own head.
It's
but
like
too long.
It's like if someone was trying to be a connoisseur of shrooms. They're like, no, like, let me, no, for sure. But I mean, like, if someone were trying to be like snobby about shrooms. And you're like,
Al, do you remember my friend Travis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might. I hate that. I think that might be a really good comp here, but yeah. I don't know. At least Travis was charming. Aaron Rodgers has no charm.
So, do you think he got a special breed, what is it, strain of mushrooms, where he's like, this is best enjoyed in 48 hours of complete darkness.
Well, I think his thing is ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah.
I hope as soon as he went in, he dropped it, and he spent the full 72 hours crawling around on the floor trying to find his drugs.
Just like, can someone please turn on the lights real quick? You just set this.
That's really rude timing, my friend.
Sorry, Al.
Like,
Sorry.
Is he wearing
That's
a diaper?
hilarious.
Is he wearing a diaper?
No, he had a small amount of light so he could see the toilet.
I'm like that.
Why do I know so much about this experience? This is
a good question.
I hate that anyone knows anything about it.
I've known my penis now for 37 years, right? And I can say for a fact that I'm pretty I know how to use it to a relative degree, right? You put me in a dark room.
You met your penis the day you were born, but I didn't meet mine until I was like 11.
I was familiar with it in some degree, some capacity. You put me in a dark room with like just an inch of light, I'm probably still pissing everywhere, right? I'm still going to miss it, you know?
Well, here's what I was going to say. If you had an unlimited budget, which we can all pretty much assume Aaron Rodgers does, I'm pretty sure I heard this thing is about 850 square feet. So it's not like a super expensive place, I'm sure.
That's bigger than my apartment was when I lived in downtown Miami.
Okay.
Did you have lights?
I mean, think of the money you save on power bill, you know. But
how often did you do so many drugs that you pissed all over the place?
I think you could, you know.
I was married to Missy at the time, so never.
I think you could design
unless
a
we're counting alcohol as a
drug
drug,
without needing to have a little bit of light in your darkness chamber. Like, say, just have the corner of the room be like a steel grate flat with running water, and you can just hit the corner, and you don't have to worry about it.
That would be better.
You know.
I mean, it doesn't fix the shit situation if you have to take.
Well, yeah, I guess he's shit in the corner too.
I don't think he ate.
Oh, so he like fasted for 96 hours or what? I love how we're just changing how long it is. I don't think I've been consistent once. How long?
What's the optimal floor plan for your 850 square feet in darkness? You don't need a living room with a TV.
Do you think he had like a blow-up mattress, or do you think he brought in like some fancy like ergonomic chair, like one of them? What are they called? The
egg thing, or like
what are those weird?
It's just an apartment he gets like blackout curtains for, and he just sits on his phone on like his alt account online and just like talks shit about all the people he actually hates and can't do in real life.
Do you think he had to be in complete darkness, right? So there's no devices or anything, and he probably likes that shit for what it's worth. Yeah, I'm curious. I want to see the setup of this place. I think there's videos online. Let me see.
Do you think he brought books? Do you think he tried to read in complete darkness?
Do you think he learned Braille just for this?
Wow. I bet he would, but I bet he hasn't. I bet you he says he would, but he hasn't.
He's considered it because he's a very thoughtful guy.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone's doing better right now than the person who owns the darkness chamber? He's had to have reservations go off the charts for this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Aaron Rodgers pissed in the corner here.
Dude, maybe this was just a long advertisement.
You think he's in like the darkness chamber business? Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, maybe he's about to. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is about to make an IPO on darkness chambers.
I'm gonna have to take a look at this place.
If you can find floor plans or something, that'd be incredible. I would love to.
I'll bring up the schematics as soon as I get them.
How do you hack inside? How do you get inside the mainframe?
Oh, it's not dark enough. Well, I mean, I guess it's 300
Eames
square
chair. I was talking about an Eames chair, by the way.
Is that like a gaming chair or something? What is that?
No, it's like a weird architect chair. I'll send you a picture.
I'm gonna Google it and see who's faster. I mostly want to see if I spelled it right. I missed the second
EAMES.
Yeah.
Do you get to the point where you've done so much drugs that you have to like just try darkness? They're like, well, ayahuasca and DMT aren't hitting anymore. Let's try darkness for a little while. Like, I don't know how that decision gets made.
The new hot drug is sobriety.
Dark sobriety.
Well, he hates his family, and they're all a bunch of Christians. So maybe he's just trying to reach the devil.
I bet he's got that chair.
the Prince of Darkness.
That's
I don't know. Would you spend $3,500 on that chair?
It looks pretty good.
3,500.
You didn't like my Eames chair? You
I like the Eames chair, but this one showed up in the same.
That chair is thick as fuck.
That chair is thick as fuck.
This chair got an ass on it.
Has anyone seen the updated odds for Aaron? Fucking bang. Updated odds on Aaron Rodgers and after the darkness. Has there been updated stats or like odds on this?
I don't know.
I don't care. I don't want him to go to anywhere. I want him to retire and leave my life.
Yeah.
What I need Aaron Rodgers to do is retire and start trying to build gyms for his children in Mississippi.
It's a Green Bay thing. You wouldn't get it.
Has he sent his dick to Jen Sturgis yet? That means your career's about over, right? If you're the Green Bay quarterback. He's got to go to the Jets first. He's got to go to the Jets first.
Does Aaron Rodgers have children?
And the Vikings. Do you ask if Aaron Rodgers has children?
Yeah.
I don't think he has any that he publicly acknowledges.
Oh, good point. What do you think Shailene Woodley's doing today? Like literally today, right now?
Basking in light. Just like open all the windows doing the opposite of Aaron Rodgers.
She's so happy
her
she
perineum.
Riding in a race car with his other ex.
Ooh.
Oh, if we're going to talk about his other exes, I'm Team Munn all day.
Yo,
you don't like
Danica? What if they made an Ocean's 8 of just Aaron Rodgers' exes?
Munn was really good in Newsroom.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've never seen anything she's in.
You should watch Newsroom. You'd really like it, Al. Like, it's right up your liberal politics.
No, isn't that the one that's like extraordinarily stupid? They had the airplane scene where they were like, "Sir, you're gonna have to be kicked off this plane if you can't calm down." And he's like, "Captain, we just killed Osama bin Laden." And then the captain gave him his pilot wings.
No idea what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure that's from the Newsroom.
So Jen Sturger
I'm gonna find the scene.
Got a sexualized comment by Brett Musburger and a dick pic by Brett Favre. What a! It's got to be hard to be a woman.
Her career got launched. Her career got launched because of the sexualized comment by Brent Musburger.
And it really wasn't that bad, right? Like, it wasn't the appropriate thing to say, but Uncle Brett says what he says.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Andy, you should pull up that YouTube video and we should watch it. Stream it on here. It's 3 minutes. It's awful television and it's great.
So I can't because
that's okay.
I threw out my back this weekend and I'm now laying on the floor.
Oh, so, what happened? Embarrassing or embarrassing?
I was cleaning. We did the deep clean this weekend. I moved couches and vacuumed under couches and shit.
Cleaned down the old cobwebs, eh?
Yep. So I sat in the chair as long as I could, and now I'm on the floor. So,
ooh, R.I.P. Andy's youth.
Yeah.
How long are you out of golf?
I don't know. Hopefully I'm good by this weekend. That's the plan.
Might actually fix it.
Yeah, you need the swing to loosen you up.
Yeah, well, I'll try that tomorrow and let you know how it goes. If I can stand up.
Buddy, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Not your fault.
Can you turn your video on so we can watch you lay on the ground, though?
Yeah, are you writhing in pain?
I will be if I try and stand up and get my camera.
There's going to be an awkward 8 minutes at the end of this recording of Andy grunting and trying to get up to hit the stop record button.
Yep. Can we just tell him to stop recording? They're like, Andy, get up quick. We just sit there and drink.
Oh.
Something I did want to talk to you guys about is, I don't know if you've realized this, but college football games are way too damn long, right? Everyone knows they're way too damn long. I know, Danny, you want to go on this? I know you hate the product that they put on the television, but
dude, it's not that I hate the product that they put on the television. It's just when the games were on, it's awesome, it's great, but they just are taking way too many breaks. Like, you watch a soccer game, they take a break at halftime and they show some commercials, and then they play the rest of the fucking game. Like, why is it that we have to have 35 commercial breaks during a football game? It's so annoying.
Because this is America, bud. Teams like to get rich. You need that money. You need to have big matchups with commercial breaks. I agree. Yeah. There's too many of them. But
you're saying there's not enough money in soccer? How much money does Messi make?
Yeah, but that's some dumb.
There's just not enough money in soccer. That's what you're saying. There's just they're not finding ways to be able to pay a player $50 million a year.
They also got
mad. It was $100 million a year at PSG or whatever it was. Yeah.
Is your argument that they're not as capitalist as America? You know why they're not as capitalist in America? Because there would be a super league if they were in the same American perspective of, hey, let's just put the most baller teams and make as much money as possible. And that
no, you know what? You know why they're not doing the super league, Matto? Because if they did a super league, people would stop watching it.
Not me. That shit would be baller. Oh, today
Americans would watch it. Americans would watch it for a little while, but what would end up happening is that most British people would keep following the clubs that are close to them, and like they would just not stop caring about the leagues that are nobody's going to care about the leagues that aren't competing for things.
You know what? The most baller shit to watch that is soccer is Champions League. Now, let me paint a scenario where Champions League happens.
Do you know why though? Because you have to earn your way into it. You have to earn your way into it.
No, yes, there is value to earning your way into it. It's also fun to watch Bayern play Barcelona for something that matters. And if they put a giant cup or enough financial stakes into it, these teams will play, and it would be awesome either way.
But what matters more than Bayern playing Barcelona for something that matters is the best team from the German league playing the best team from the Spanish league, playing the best team from the Italian league, playing the best team from the French league, playing the 5 best teams from the English league. Like that's what really matters.
Or everyone has all the money and they're going to always have the best teams. And it's an American sports system, right? That's my point. I love that the underdog has a chance, right? Napoli is a perfect example. Napoli shouldn't be one of the best Italian teams, and they're clearly the best Italian team. You would think it would be Juventus or Milan, either Milan, right? I get that argument. But if Juventus has 5 times more money as Napoli, I bet you that team's
Roma.
No, but they're not the same, man. There's 3 legendary teams in Italy, and those are the 3. They're all.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like Napoli as an underdog is like the equivalent of a team being ranked like in like top 15 to top 25. Like they have about the equal odds of winning the whole thing, which is to say very slim. But Matt makes a good point. I think it is if the incentive is there and the teams are trying and want to win, it's going to be good to watch regardless. I also think, Matt said if you can make it financially motivating, that's a lot easier to do in professional sports than it is in college, and that's something that needs to get ironed out a little more clearly in the college level.
You just said something really important now. The teams are trying to win, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. If you can iron out the financials in college football to motivate the players and not just the coaches, then
not trying.
That's different though, dude, because the player acquisition is based on not winning. The shittiest teams get the best odds.
And you think if they get a super league where they can't drop out, and then they have all the money, more than everybody else. That's your theory? They're not going to create some sort of player draft?
Maybe they will. Shit, I don't know. They probably could.
And then half the teams will be tanking so that they can draft higher?
I don't know that for sure. I know that they will create a super league.
American version of sports is shit. All right? It just is. The draft is literally, it's un-American. The draft is un-American.
Not capitalist. I agree with that. Like, it's anti-capitalist. It's like, you'll be assigned in this precinct.
It is not free. I'll tell you. Well, it's kind of capitalist because we all are kind of assigned to where we go. We kind of get to pick our college. But
well, I mean, if it was really capitalist, then the bad teams would intentionally tank, be motivated to tank, and get handouts for tanking, and then they would.
No, if that's called crony capitalism. That actually is uniquely American.
Well, yeah, you just said no, and then you said yes.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot. America is a different kind of capitalism. Where let's not get into politics.
It doesn't matter. My point was, we say that the college football program could be better, right? So the commissioners are all meeting together. They have 4 rule changes. I think some of these rule changes are fine. Some of them are dumb, and I can think of rule changes that are better, right? So I'm going to present the rule change. I'm going to go around the horn. You tell me if it's a good rule change, a bad rule change, and then I'll let you open up the speaking platform for rule changes you think will make the game better, okay?
I like
Are you all good with this game?
Yeah.
So number 1 is rule change, prohibiting consecutive timeouts, i.e. icing kickers.
I can't believe this is a rule right now.
It's a perfect rule change. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Honestly, you shouldn't even be allowed to ice kickers. They should just eliminate that. You should not be able to take a timeout, either team. I would take that a step further.
Icing kickers are so dumb. Icing kickers are so dumb.
It's
like
very
once a guy that is designated as a kicker is run on the field, no timeouts allowed by either team. That should be a better rule. I agree with Al there. Also, double timeouts in any situation is like, I can't believe you're allowed to take 2 timeouts in a row. That is one of the dumbest things that is allowed in sports. You should never be allowed to take 2 timeouts. It's the
equivalent of saying like no heckling at a college basketball game when someone's shooting free throws, and it literally like waiting until the crowd is quiet before you shoot them.
It's tennis.
Yeah, it's awful.
Quiet. He's shooting a free throw.
So I feel like I have a memory of a long time ago, a team getting penalized for calling back-to-back timeouts.
It was a pro team.
Am I making that up, or
NFL? It happened in the NFL.
I'm sure it at least happened to the Lions.
NFL made this rule. It was within our lifetime, I think, and it happened like the year after.
Gotcha.
Some dumbass coach. It was probably like a Belichick disciple. It was probably Matt Patricia.
Yeah. I don't want to veer off topic. So next.
Andy, are you good with not icing kickers anymore?
Yeah, that's a great rule change.
I think we're all on board, right?
Everybody's on board with that.
So no longer extending a first or third quarter for an untimed down if the quarter ends on a defensive penalty. First,
I'm fine with that.
Third quarter.
I could care less.
It seems like
this is going to save 7 seconds. This is going to save 7 seconds. I could care less about this.
Is it going? Yeah. Is it going to eliminate like needless wasted time? Yes. Is it anything I would have noticed otherwise? No. Does it need to change? No. Do I care that it changed? Also no.
This is the dumbest. This is the dumbest rule change ever because it never should have. Like, who cares? Who the fuck cares? This is a 7-second rule change. People are going to spend hours and hours of their life talking about this.
That's going to happen in like one game every weekend out of 150.
At most.
Universally, everyone's on board with those 2 rule changes, right? No one disagrees.
Nobody's disagreeing with the second one.
Yeah.
No, well, the first one everybody's on board with. The second one, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's so insignificant. You're like, wait a second, me 37 seconds. The third
second
one
would be like, hey, we're gonna move the kickoff from the 25 to the 25 and 1 inch yard line.
It is
We're gonna lower the height of the tees for kicking off a quarter of an inch.
All right, so rule change number 3. The clock will continue to run after an offense gains a first down, except inside of 2 minutes and a half. Very NFL, right? Clock continues to run. College, they stop to do the chains, and then
I think it should be more than 2, but whatever.
So wait.
Yeah, sorry, Andy. You want to tackle any of it?
No, go ahead. I don't care.
I think I liked it the way it was before, but I also don't think it's going to alter the game all that much. It's just going to reduce the number of possessions, which I guess is probably good for the players, but I don't know if it necessarily gives us a better product. I guess it depends if that time is made up through advertising or just shorter games.
Oh, it's going to be
shorter games will have less scoring.
Yeah,
shorter games will have less
unders.
Will have less scoring, which the commercial
Unders.
breaks are always between the touchdown and the extra point, and and then they'll still have their planned like quarterly, mid-quarter commercial breaks. That one is the one they need to stop. It's that planned mid-quarter commercial break where like the referee just comes out and goes, "All right, guys, it's time to stop playing for about 8 minutes."
The guy in the rain
McDonald's
comes out with a
sponsored
smile.
water
That says
break.
3 minutes when you're at the game.
Yeah. No, when you're at the game, it's just like, why do you think I don't stay past halftime? It's fucking exhausting to be there.
I think
like,
this one sounds
watch
innocuous until you realize where that time is going. And when you're like, this is the 18th fucking commercial break and it's not even halftime, this is the one you can blame for that.
So, but Elliott calculated that this would be from Cover 3 podcast. I'm stealing that concept. It would reduce the game by probably 5 to 7 plays. So, like, one possession gets lost, which is it's pretty substantial.
I don't know if I trust his math, which is dumb to say.
He's good at math. He's pretty.
Because I also think
all things it's his math I trust more than his judgment on other things.
It's not necessarily the number of plays. Also, it's the amount of the length of time the game takes. You know what I mean?
All these rules are made to make the game go quicker. Because
that will increase the pace of play, I think, with a running clock, because you want to try and maximize possessions.
None of this. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, just so it may not actually alter the number of plays that much. I guess so. That's a good. I guess Bud is probably right, but the game will be shorter. Or the actual amount of time spent playing the game will be shorter, and they'll just fit in 3 more commercial breaks.
Yeah, I don't actually think I like this one. I
think I've talked myself into hating it.
Yeah. So this is the. I'm sorry, I wasn't 100% listening when you said it, but I think I know the order we were doing it. This is not the incomplete pass one. This is the incomplete pass is only inside 2 minutes. Right.
This is not that rule at all. This is on first downs.
This is the first downs. First downs stop only inside 2 minutes instead of always.
Yeah.
So that definitely. Yeah. First downs need to always stop the clock, and this one isn't that big of a deal. But they need to not change this. They need to not change this. This is.
If it meant the games for 2.5 hours instead of 3.5 hours, I'd be like, yeah, I'm good with it. But there's still going to be 3.5 hours. It's going to be 3 more commercial breaks.
I don't care about the rule change itself that much. I think I agree with Danny and Al that they're trying to fix something that's not broken on this particular one. But I think I have a take that might be unpopular here, which is I don't think the games are too long and I don't think there's too many commercials. I get 14 college football Saturdays a year, and I'm spending the whole day on my couch. And more and longer commercials just means I get to flip over to one of the other 39 games I have a bet on.
Danny,
that's amazing.
I'm so on board with you, buddy. I'm like, I don't care. There's parts of the game I hate. That is not one of them.
No,
right?
You guys don't go.
So
when I say the on-field product sucks. When I say the on-field product sucks, I mean the in-person on-field product sucks.
I agree. I get that.
When I go to the game, I get to see nothing. I'm watching other games on my phone.
Because don't go to the games, bro. Nobody's forcing you to go.
Andy, well, I have a
I know
tailgating is awesome. We're Missy and I have discussed, and we are trying our best to only buy a parking pass this year so we can go home and watch the game on TV because we still love tailgating. Yeah. Tailgating is the best part. We all agree tailgating is awesome, right? And tailgating in the parking lot is better than tailgating at home. Right.
So,
although if we don't buy the parking pass, I am still going to set up a tailgate party in my fucking driveway every Saturday morning.
That's a great idea. And Danny, we could say on the list of how the game day experience is big game in person is awesome. Every other game at home is awesome. Shitty game in person is the worst of the options, right?
No, the girls love going to Bethune-Cookman, man. They can just run around the stadium. They have carte blanche. They love the tailgate.
I don't think most people would agree with you, Danny.
Yeah. They don't care about the on-field situation.
It's changed. It's changed from. I would have agreed with you 4.5 years ago that the Bethune-Cookman game was not it was great up until halftime. I always love watching their band, honestly.
Their band kicks ass.
Yeah. But yeah, the tailgate, we didn't tailgate for that game usually because it was usually a weeknight game up until recently.
Andy, just to clarify, I'm not saying that a 3.5 hour game is too long. What I'm saying is a 2.5 hour game is better.
I don't think that's true.
Let me lay it out for you. So, I mean, obviously the way it's going to play out is very different, but if you were to able to add a whole extra window to watch another game in, because all the games were an hour shorter or half an hour shorter. It didn't have to be crazy. And then also you staggered starts so that you could end up. Andy, how many games do you watch simultaneously on Saturday?
At least 5. At least 5.
Now, what if you could do that for an extra window, or if you could only watch one game and still watch like 6 games in a day?
I don't want to watch one game at a time, unless it's the Illini. Like I want 6 games on different screens, and I don't care how long the games are, as long as I got football all day.
I mean, it's not like
I never do the
NFL
6
where there's
screens.
only 16 games, and there's only 8 on one day. This is college football. There's going to be 200 games every weekend, or 100 games every weekend. So there's plenty of games.
And I want them starting at 11
a.m.
a.m. and going till 2 or 3 in the morning.
I'm in a hot
start them earlier.
Yeah. I'm in a hot take, Andy, here.
Not during Premier League, but yeah.
I don't think 6 games is. I think 6 games is too many. I don't think you're getting anything from a couple of those windows. I think 4 games is the maximum amount of games you can watch simultaneously.
Yeah,
no, that's not true. During college football,
there's
a 45-second play clock. Dude, it's a 45-second play clock. There is nothing happening for most of a college football game.
You'd be amazed how often all 6 of them are on commercial at the same time. Actually, which goes against my original point.
College football is almost always nothing happening. It's a 45-second play clock in college. It's like you have so much time in between action. And then, yes, there's all these commercial breaks. They do a commercial after every score, after every conversion, and after every timeout, after every change of possession. It's so much. It's so many 5-minute commercial breaks, and then So
what I'll usually do is I'll usually have my laptop, and on my laptop I'll do like a split screen with like 4 games. Then I've got the big
too
TV.
Small. That's too small.
I use that to know what game I should put on the big TV. Like that's all I'm doing. I'm like, okay, this team's driving. Let's flip over to that game on the big TV. And then it's like, oh, that game's in commercial. Which one should I go to? Oh, this one,
You build your own red zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's good. You're producing your own red zone. I wish they would just produce a red zone for me.
That's
fair. Like we can't get these. We can't get these conferences to align.
I've never had an issue with the play clock though. I don't. It's a 40-second play clock, and it's the same in college and NFL, and I don't have an issue with it.
No, NFL is shorter. That's wrong. It's a 40-second puck. NFL is only 30 or 35.
But I'm not.
I need you guys to check on Al so that he knows I'm right, because I can't do it. Because I'll be right back.
Okay, Andy, will you check on it really quick?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not often sitting there saying, "Oh, let's go, stop the ball already." Normally it's because of a stoppage of play that does that, not because of play clock.
Yeah, and let's give some context to the listener at home. The commissioners of college football are talking about this as a way to make the game shorter and to increase player safety. The second one's hilarious because it doesn't make any sense. But the first one is a matter of they don't care about the game being shorter. They just don't want to sacrifice commercials in order to get to the 3:30 window. But they want a gap between 3 and 3:30 where you can watch the pregame and there's a bunch of commercials because you expect commercials during the pregame, right? So this is a big marketing ploy. They're creating these rules. They're putting it under the guise of public safety and player safety and payment, but they're not giving these kids an extra buy, which would actually create public safety, right?
They're giving 5 to 7 fewer plays a game.
That's how they're selling it, right? Yeah. The next rule would probably reduce the game by like 17 plays. So this one is a dramatic game change, and I'll present it once Danny gets back.
Well, I was going to say maybe we should dive into it now because I'm sure Danny's going to have a lot to say about it, and maybe we can get our point.
Rule number 4, right? So that one creates an incremental time change. The 4th rule is this: the clock will continue to run after an incomplete pass once the ball is spotted for play. So running play in college football, clock runs as long as they stay in bounds and they're running forward. In a passing play, the clock runs as long as the ball stays in bounds. But if it's an incomplete pass, the clock stops. Now, how about if that clock never stopped running after the ball is spotted?
So essentially, it's a continuously running clock.
once the ball is spotted, right? It's not like they don't do like extra time like soccer does, right?
So
this dramatically changed 2-minute drives or ending games where like, well, you got to run the ball here. There's like a lot to unpack here. I got to take a piss.
Oh, so even inside of 2 minutes, the clock's still running.
Even from what I can see, the clock will continue to run after an incomplete pass once the ball is spotted for play. Now, look, they may make the rules go back after 4 minutes or 6 minutes in the fourth quarter, which they probably should. But at that point, why?
Like unnecessarily overcomplication of the sport. But also, I especially don't like it. Like 2-minute drills are like completely different now under this new rule. If that happens, secondly, like they're still stopping the clock on a first down. So why don't they just not stop
only
the clock
inside
on
2 minutes?
Well, why don't they just not stop the clock after a first down and just have it running unless it was out of bounds? So the only way to stop the clock inside of 2 minutes at the end of the game now is either to get a first down or to run the ball out of bounds.
Yeah. I mean,
so what about a spike? You can't spike the ball?
I was just going to ask that. I wonder if they'll still let you spike it. Like, I bet they will.
And then it's like, why do we have all these carve-outs? It's stupid. It makes it hard for new people to learn the sport.
Yeah.
Not that was easy before. It wasn't, but.
Yeah. No, this one's dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
I think I hate the 2 so much that it almost makes me want to not have them do the first 2 either, just because fuck these rule changes. Are these like all for sure happening, or these are proposed?
Proposed. They're all proposed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're voting on it in a couple of weeks, right? Wherever they get all the rich white dudes together to make decisions. Oof. I had 2 out of 3 bets looking really good, and then they all went to shit in the last couple minutes.
Oh, that sucked.
So, do we talk about the incomplete pass? We hate it, right? Everyone should hate it. I hate it because here's the thing: they're going to make the amount of plays run will be similar to the NFL, right? Which is great for the NFL. But my college football game should have me choosing over-unders in the 60s because that's college football. Not in the high 40s, not in the – unless you're watching Iowa or Big Ten or something else, right?
40s for Iowa?
Yeah.
Under.
But, like, do you think Kirk Ferentz loves these rules or hates these rules? Do you think he likes a shorter clock and less plays? I don't think he likes that people – like, he's got to love it. It's got to be his favorite.
I think he doesn't like that it's going to make weaker men.
Fair enough. But I do think college football is too long of a procedure, right? There's way too many commercials for the most part for the average watcher. I think Danny's point is the more common point than Andy and I, who are just going to lean in on a Saturday and going to start from noon to 2 a.m. That's a totally.
Why does it take so long for them to call a play? I don't understand why it takes so long. They got to have like 9 pre-snap motions. Like, what the fuck are these guys doing up there? Just call a play, line up, have your one guy run across, and fucking go. If you change your formation,
are you Mario Cristobal? You're Mario Cristobal. You're a proponent for Mario Cristobal offense.
No, I'm not saying we should only run the ball.
Danny, what would George say?
George loves pre-snap changes
because it's awesome. Because you can identify weaknesses or whatever, right? Like,
yeah, that's what you guys are doing when you're watching football. You're identifying weaknesses in the defense.
I am drinking my 43rd Busch Light of the day.
Yeah, and praying for unders.
Danny, if it weren't for identifying defensive weaknesses, how else would I have gone 644 and 640 on the college football season?
But okay,
that seems like a low number, Al.
I don't know. I feel like you did better than that.
1,284 bets. We went way over that.
Yeah.
So Danny, if you had your druthers, you would shorten the play clock, I assume, and you would.
I would say once a player comes set, only one player can move after that.
Okay. Andy, any rules you would like to change?
That's a good question. I feel like the last time we talked about this, we said we'd come back to it in the offseason, and I feel like I had a good one, and I'm not coming up with it right now. I was just going to make a joke based off what Danny just said, that they should introduce like soccer substitution rules, like 5 subs, and once you come out, you're out.
Oh, wow. So you're playing 2 ways. Or offense and defense can only, like 5 subs per side.
Yeah, you can still have offense and defense. Like, and
I used to be pro. I used to be pro that rule, Andy, until I don't want to kill all our football players.
You want to talk about hurting
I'm not
children.
seriously suggesting it. Just think it's funny.
We'll just come off
earlier. I do like kind of like the idea of like once you sub off in football, you're off for the game.
Yeah.
So like the linemen and stuff, they can't rotate out like 3 times on every drive. So like once you sub off, or like you're off for the quarter maybe. So like if the lineman is playing on defense and he's subbed off, he's off for the quarter.
I don't hate on the specific drive either, right? Because people are always rotating in and out. Like having a third down personnel come in versus the first and second down personnel. I don't hate that.
That shit bothers me. That shit bothers me.
No, I'm saying I think that would be a good rule, Danny.
Like no subs during the drive.
Yeah.
Unless someone's injured, right? And then you're going to have fake injuries and shit.
No, I'm saying once you're subbed off, you're off for the
drive. That's I was saying even the drive would make it better.
Even the drive, yeah. Because all these like different personnel packages that they're coming in, like it's just too much, man. They're making football too specialized, and it doesn't need to be that specialized. Like, put your team out there and fucking play. Could you imagine if every set piece they came out, they like for soccer, they subbed on 19 different like 7-footers, and then as soon as the ball went out for a corner, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get all our defenders back now."
I remember my rule change: no kickers at all under any circumstances. I haven't watched any of the XFL, but I did see a highlight, and instead of like an onside kick, you have to go for like 4th and 15, and your extra point, you could go for like 2 from the 5 or 3 from the 15 or like that. That's way better than kickers. There should be no kickers in football.
Kickers are kind of an arbitrary part of the game, and they hold a lot of responsibility for doing very little throughout.
What game, Matt?
Football?
What ball?
Oh, are we going to do this? Okay.
Yeah.
So Al's rule proposal is you shouldn't be able to use your hands. That's if you're football.
I think I want to come back to this once you're subbed off, you're off rule, because I think this is a legit rule that we should start pushing. Once you're subbed off, you're off. I think that could work.
I like it for a drive. I don't like it for anything longer than that.
Drive is perfect. I think if you switch your personnel halfway through the drive, that's fine.
I think football is way too specialized, and they're always trying to sub on and off, and it causes the game to be delayed so much. How many times is like the referee holding up like, oh, the offense sub, now the defense gets to sub, and the defense takes too long to sub. Now the offense can't do their motion. There's so much game.
I have a question for you, Danny. Do you like football?
Yes, I love when
it really sounds like you fucking
once the ball is snapped, football is amazing. But like I played fucking tight end and guard and kicker, but I and defensive tackle. Like I do not like all of this shit that all the people are doing around me. No. But I just want to down block. That's the only thing I want to do. I just want to down block.
The speed of the game.
I want to trap block. Those are the only things I want to watch.
Like
you guys can take the ball and go through the whole fucking hole.
Well, yeah. So to circle back to the incomplete pass running clock rule, I would much have rather preferred. I much would have rather preferred they just got rid of the stopping the clock after a first down. Just keep the clock moving then, and then you can have your normal rules. Make it more like the NFL instead of less like the NFL. And then also I would have proposed moving the extra point back like 5 yards or whatever, or 10 yards, wherever where it makes the kick interesting, where teams are more likely to go for 2. The downside to that
I like Andy's rule better of no kickers, but
I'm leaning more towards Andy. I have a couple changes. I don't think you need to televise the extra point unless it's important, right? The end of a game-winning extra point, fuck it.
No extra points.
Go to commercial. Start your commercial break when they're kicking an extra point. If they missed it, show me on the other side.
Do the little thing where they put the tiny screen in the upper left-hand corner. Show me the extra kick there.
Nope.
And
then get the commercials going then.
I'm with
Andy.
Andy. Touchdowns are worth one.
Rule.
Touchdowns are worth 1 point, and you have to kick them into a net where there's a goalie. Who can
I was going to say, give me a volleyball rule. You can't win by 1. You got to win by 2 or more.
Wow. So you have to go for 2? No. So that'll get the game going. Look, commerce is going to commerce. They're going to get their money. I don't care about the extra point unless it's the end of the game. Or right before.
I don't care about the extra point ever. When is a missed extra point fun to watch?
I saw that the LSU-FSU game was pretty cool.
It doesn't go.
It was a pretty big missed extra point.
1 in 100.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I'm saying like big situations, missed extra point matters.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, like that's
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Secondly, there are too many goddamn reviews in college football. That is the most insufferable part. I'd rather watch commercials than have people staring like an unrequited review from a bunch of referees, and they sit there for 4 minutes trying to figure it out. There has to be a better system. I don't care if it is like you have to have like flags thrown, kind of like the NFL. There has to be a better system because it's.
Have you guys watched XFL?
No, I haven't.
Dude, they have like full disclosure into their review process. Like the guy is literally talking to the camera about like, oh. Well, so you could see this. We're gonna have to let this one stand. And then you hear him call down to the referee and go, so you couldn't really tell what was going on. We're gonna have to let this one stand. It's like beautiful. And I don't know why we can't. I don't know why we can't just get that in the NFL. And you know why I know? Actually, I do know why we can't get that in the NFL because it's all a fucking lie. And they're just trying to do what they can for their ratings or for their gamblers or for their sponsors or for their TV contracts.
The refs aren't even looking at the play. They're like talking to Roger Goodell, and they're like, "Roger, which way do we want this to go?"
What do you need here?
Yeah, Roger. What does CBS want? What does Fox want? What does Bovada need? What does Caesars need?
What's the Mafia need? So, what was I gonna say? What were we talking about? What are we like in the middle of talking about?
I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is my first Bud Light in a very
reviews officiating. Ooh. So yeah, first off, officiating is like refs make themselves the focal point of the game like way too often. Also,
the only ref that should ever be the focal point of a game is Ed Hockley.
Yeah. Like we watch Aussie Rules football and they review that shit in literally like 3 seconds. It's like instantaneous.
Boom.
And then we sit here and we have like 3 commercial breaks. And we listen to fucking Dean Blandino wax on about how great refs are. And fucking, what's the Mike Pereira, always like half cocked on Tito's. And he's like, the ref's gonna do a good job. That's what I think's gonna happen.
No, they're apologists.
They're just like stay with what they think the ref's gonna do. And they're like wrong half the time. They're just like, that was a tough call. I see how he called it that way. It's like, shut the fuck up. We don't need to like listen to a monologue of you guys sucking rep dick. Just fuck off and fucking rule on the play in like 1 second. I'm 100% right all the time, and I know it in one replay.
Greg Olsen, you're not 100% right all the time.
I literally am. I'm always right. It's very easy.
How many Guinnesses can you chug in 20 seconds?
When you have a bunch of like 70-year-old dudes who probably can't even see the fucking screen, like ruling on this shit, like get fucking bent. I'm so.
How many Guinnesses can you chug in 20 minutes?
9.
Wrong. Wrong.
We're testing this next week. I will send you the Guinnesses.
Yeah,
it will be at your doorstep.
There's 0 chance you can chug 9 Guinnesses in 20 minutes.
All right, we got 20 minutes to the rest of this podcast. You said you got them?
No, I got
it's 11:30, and I do have to work tomorrow, so maybe it's more like a 10 p.m. move.
Okay, we'll do this at 10 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. Next week, come back. Come watch us on YouTube. Al's going to chug 9 Guinnesses during the ChuggieBets podcast.
Al's going to chug like 6 Guinnesses.
Yeah. Bottom line, come wherever you want, but be here next week.
Well, not wherever you want. That might get weird. Our buddy George has got people dealing with that at Barnes & Noble.
But I want to make a point on Al. Dean Blandino is literally there on like Fox or CBS broadcast in order to protect the Shield, right? He's like a mole. Like they were saying, like he's always like your commentary, while just ridiculous, is perfectly spot on because that person only exists. It's like we're gonna go to Dean Blandino, and he's there just to protect the Shield, right? Like,
it's
like
so
literally
obvious.
every
Like,
time we're like, I just want to start off by saying the refs have such a hard job and they do such a good job.
Al,
and,
that's what you sound like the whole
troops.
season.
And
I know.
like,
I'm literally sending memes of Al wearing referee.
This is to throw us off the scent. As soon as the season starts, Al's gonna be right back on their
Blandino in a wig and like a merkin here, like on your face.
Oh,
Al loves the refs.
I'm a contrarian for people who bitch about officiating. Like, you don't know about officiating.
Greg Olson ingratiated himself to all of America, by the way, in the Super Bowl by saying that was a bad call in the Super Bowl when the guy was clearly not holding. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah. He's really good at it.
Except he was holding. He admitted it after the game.
Yeah, no, that guy was clearly paid by the NFL a lot of money to say he was holding.
For sure.
Okay.
Dean Blandino showed up at his fucking at his locker and was like, "Hey, this is a check. Just say you did it."
That's a dude who's been fined for shit talking about the refs before, and he said that money's staying in this pocket.
So Al's real problem with the review is that he thinks we should just trust the refs. Like, just they know what they're doing. They get it right the first time.
They have a hard job.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, one
My
of the
point
hardest
is,
jobs
it's
out
not
there.
hard. People are just biased and they're bad at it. And I'm not biased, and I'm great at it.
Okay, but we can all agree.
Listen. If I chug 9 Guinnesses in under 20 minutes next week, you all have to tell me I'm right all the time, and I'm unbiased.
I certainly will not. I'll drink 3 of them. I'll drink your 3 that you were going to get from me instead.
I'll let you half our Premier League bet that I'm crushing you on right now.
We'll get into that in the end. Let's get through the college football rule changes. Okay, so I agree with you. I think there has to be a faster change. And I'm going to say this last rule. Like, I think the way Aussie Rules does it in XFL, everyone can oversee it and be like, hey, you got that wrong, right? That's a touchdown. There could be a new system. This next one is going to make me feel real bad. So I'm going to go off camera because I don't like
guy in the end just goes.
I don't like hurting children, okay? I do not like hurting children. Look at me, guys. I'm a big fan of kids who are trying to play football.
Wait, did Matt just go in a dark room and say he doesn't like hurting children? Is this Aaron Rodgers?
They should get rid of targeting. They should give 15 yards and move on. You should not get kicked out of the game and not review it. It's a waste of time. I feel bad for the kids who get hurt, but it's a giant waste of time for me watching it. Anyone have
kicking the kid out of the game doesn't help shit.
I think I don't like the take. I think the answer is fast review. And because they've already done it where like they can review it and they go, oh, we were wrong, so he's not kicked out.
Yeah, I get that, but it's more of an arbitrary ruling, right? It's not like keeping feet in bounds. It's more of like.
They also should call it on the offense. They never call it on the offense.
That's a really good. That's a very. You can just give a personal foul. You can give a personal foul on offense.
They should be tossing like half the running backs every week.
But
for going like this,
yes.
It takes a long time to review a rule that there's not like a clear cut, like his feet were in bounds or out of bounds. It seems like a very hard thing to overturn, and it wastes a giant amount of time.
Yeah, I'm also pro children. My thing is there's just no consistency, right? Like you have no idea what targeting is from one game to the next game. And even the announcers, I feel like the announcers are wrong every time with targeting. If the announcers are saying, oh, that was definitely targeting, he's gone. The ref comes back and is like, no targeting, he can stay, and vice versa. Like, there's no consistency. That's the problem with targeting, I think.
Andy, I think that was the most Republican sentence you've ever started a saying with by saying, "I'm pro-children. My problem is there's no consistency." Like you literally sounded like I don't know. Take your pick.
I know we're not talking. No, never mind.
Are you a senator from Texas?
Don't do it. We can talk about
I think it was Alaska, but yeah.
So I think we're all in agreement, right? The first 2 rules are no-brainers. We can move past. Who cares? Double timeouts are ridiculous when icing the kicker. No one cares about on-time downs at the end of a quarter. That doesn't matter. And then seemed like we were kind of split over the idea of what was number 3 again? Shit. The clock continue to run after a first down. The NFL, we could probably learn from that. And it's like 7 or 8 plays, and then the clock will continue to run after incomplete passes. Ridiculous.
I think we should. Can we just have the same fucking rules for football?
Like for 2 years in a row.
Just like one. No. Just like one set of rules for football, like
pro.
College, just like can college just be like, hey pros, we're gonna use your rules. Like you guys are better than us, we'll use yours. Or pros be like, hey college, you guys are cool, we'll use your rules. Or they can all get together and be like, these are the rules of football, and both of them will agree to those rules, so we don't have like 2 different fucking games we're playing.
I do think. Sorry.
And what examples, like, are you okay with wider goalposts or 2 feet down or all those rules, or are you saying how the gameplay rules?
I'm just saying, like, let's have an FA, let's have a football association that maybe like makes all the rules.
When did you try to become like pseudo-European guy? You're just like anti-crony capitalism. Like you have the idea of Super League. You're like, well, we should have everyone play each other in a unified tournament across all levels.
Yeah, we also don't need more governing bodies in sports. Like, get the NCAA out of here, not add an additional
bladder's full.
Yeah, let's have another corrupt body in between the sport.
Yeah. We need one set of rules for football.
Unless it's us. Unless the 4 of us are the new corrupt body. I'm okay with that.
I don't want to be part of that.
Andy, you're fielding phone calls, Andy.
All right, as long as somebody else is holding the
Danny, you're on.
I guess if I could do taxes for your guys' illicit gains, if I could do taxes for your illicit gains, I'm cool.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for engaging in that conversation. I was just curious about the rule changes. It's all bullshit, right? Like everyone's going to agree on the first 2 ones. They're trying to pepper in these, and I love how they're doing it under like safety of kids. And look, it will save some plays, but it ain't going to shorten the commercial breaks, right? They're not actually caring. They just want to move the game along and get to the 3 to 3:30 window quicker with more commercials in between. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I know I disagree with your targeting take, but I do think they should get rid of, in general, all subjective fouls and penalties.
It's hard, dude. It's an impossible rule to
drop a lot of games for that. I got one last topic. I know we're getting on and on, but it's completely different than what we were talking about. And
hit it.
I think I know, and this is actually going to be kind of on brand. I think I know how to save baseball.
Oh, really?
Get rid of the bases?
Yeah, we just need to make it cricket.
Get rid of the foot in football and get rid of the base in baseball?
No, we just need to start watching cricket, guys. It's better. It's better than baseball now. It's like the ball's in play more. The ball's in play. It's not that hard to understand. It's like they just hit the ball and then they run back and forth, man. It's like the bases just go back and forth. I know the scores look weird. The scores look weird and everything, but like T90 is like, it's the fucking best.
Yeah, Danny, you can't complain about there being too many different sets of rules and then say you love cricket, because cricket has like a version that takes a few hours and a version that takes a fucking week. Like
a week might be understating it, but no.
If you want everybody to play be the same rules, you don't want to watch cricket.
No, I think T90 is the only set of cricket rules that people should follow. I guess is it's shorter and it's the right amount.
I mean, obviously, anyone who's tuned in for an hour and 40 minutes is not going to stay to listen to the intricacies and the rules of cricket here. But if you're interested, keep your ears peeled. So
no, I don't. All right, look, I don't know all the intricacies of the rules of cricket right now, but I watched a cricket match tonight, and it was fun because the ball was in play. Guys were running around. They were picking it up. They were throwing it. It was like a baseball match before the dudes were just striking out and hitting home runs.
Yeah, like this is my like Cliff Notes version of what I think cricket is. There's
a guy hit a home run too, Andy. A guy hit a home run. He hit it completely out of the stadium. It was awesome.
And there's a little wicket or like stick that sticks out of the ground, and the pitcher has to hit the stick. And if he does, the guy's out. And if the guy takes his bat and hits the ball, he runs to a wall and back. And if he makes it back, he scores. That's it.
Yeah, you get a point every time you go back and forth between the wickets.
Look,
so you can run back and forth multiple times on one hit.
Yes. And then the next guy comes up and you keep going back and forth. Anyway.
Danny, Al, and myself have no room to judge anyone else watching foreign sports when we're going to have an Aussie Rules podcast soon. So we can all shut the hell up and enjoy Danny's take, because cricket is one of the most popular games in the world. I think
it's
is the
great. It's like really great. It's better than it's not better than 90s baseball, but it's better than 2020s baseball.
I have bet on it like twice, and I found myself very much excited about following the scoreboard because I couldn't pull up a cricket match in Australia or whatever. So I think it has potential.
I just don't have cable also, and Hulu Sports has cricket matches.
Nice.
Yeah, but our listening numbers are about to skyrocket when Aussie Rules kicks off.
Oh
yeah. Hopefully people in Australia know that we exist.
I think we should rebrand that to be like ChuggieBets, mate, or something like that. Like, just make it slightly different. Like ChuggieBets, you cunt. Something that is the Australian market and the je ne sais quoi.
Foster's bets, mate.
No, but I do want to cover all these.
We should be like
Right.
And we just got sued by Disney. Thanks.
It was so bad.
Monopoly's back at Macca's. Monopoly's back at Macca's.
Nah, it's gonna be a good time. Any soccer bets too far out? Next week we'll do Champions League again, and when it starts back up, Chelsea under. Get the under.
I mean, yeah, fade Chelsea. Take the under. Take the first half under. That's all I got for this weekend. I haven't checked anything else yet. Rashford to score. Like, he's gonna keep scoring. He scored last week, but they took it away.
We actually have a couple games in the midweek. If you guys want to
They're still giving plus money on Rashford, even though he scores every game.
Do you guys have feelings on Shiat? Let me bring him up real quick. There are 2 games in the midweek. I forgot it's a double week.
I feel like Gabriel Jesus is back and he's gonna.
Is it like
score
Arsenal, Liverpool, or something? No, not that.
Liverpool plays Wolves.
Liverpool.
Arsenal, Everton.
I like the over. I like the over in Wolves Liverpool. Over 2.5 in that game. Over 2.5.
That seems like a good one. I mean, Wolves not. I kind of like Arsenal to keep. Liverpool to keep a clean sheet, even with Liverpool's defense.
That doesn't mean they won't score 3, Matto.
I know Liverpool's defense has been so bad.
Danny, did you say over or under?
I said over.
Yeah, over I can get on board with. I think also
Wolves defense hasn't been. Wolves defense hasn't been terrible, but Liverpool's has. And I expect this game to be 2-1 Liverpool, but I like over 2.5.
I think Wolves can't score either, man.
What?
Brampton, they can't score.
I know.
It doesn't matter if they're playing a bad defense.
I know, but if you're going to bet this game on Liverpool to dictate it, then okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you could take Liverpool minus 1.5, or I'm assuming that's what it is. Or
I think it's 1.25, right?
Yeah, but Liverpool's defense sucks so much. I could see it going 2-1, and then you lose the 1.5.
Yeah.
You can get plus value on 1.25 right now. Liverpool laying it. That is interesting because that game could end up 2-0, 3-1.
Over 2.5 is probably minus money. It's probably like minus 130 or something.
142 is on action in their aggregation.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna hit.
Why not just bet minus 1.5? Okay.
You guys have Everton Arsenal on Wednesday. It looks like 2.5 is the number. It's pretty even over under, and Arsenal is 1.25.
Everton is so due. They're so due. Malpay to score. Malpay to score plus 400. That's what I'm betting.
I think I might maybe draw.
Wow. Plus 420. Nice.
Ooh. Draw's probably crazy, but I don't hate it.
Well, then
I feel like Arsenal's scoring has dropped off, which is what makes me think
so much, but Jesus has been out, man, and he's been like so Niketa's been in there and he's back now. Jesus is back now. Gabriel Jesus, he's back.
Arsenal has given up a lot of goals. They lost their other match against Everton on 2-4. So they lost 1-0 at Everton. Granted, this is very different. This is in London, right? But yeah.
Is Malpay just going to keep not scoring goals for the rest of the season?
Is Everton going to keep not scoring goals? I don't know.
What's his name? I always want to say Ibaka. It's not Ibaka.
Albert Lewis.
I don't. Yeah, I need more than
Everton's winger that starts with an I.
Iwobi.
Can he get a goal for me?
He's on my Premier League fantasy team. Man,
he hasn't scored much. He's assisted some. He hasn't scored much, but he's assisted some. He counts as a midfielder for Everton, so you get your clean sheets when they do that too.
He's plus 850 anytime goal scorer and plus 2,000 to score first.
Oof. Why don't we just say? Why don't we take Bukayo Saka to score a goal? He didn't score last game. It looks like
Saka didn't score last game.
Nope.
Saka's been hot, man. Yeah. Saka probably just scores good.
I think he assisted or something.
Martinelli assisted Saka.
It looked like
Saka did score. Is that what you said?
No,
Martinelli
assisted Saka, but it was Martinelli who scored last game.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Other way around then.
Yeah.
Plus 175 for Saka to score and plus 525 for him to score first.
It's not a great odds.
I'd take it though.
I mean that's pretty good. I think.
I don't hate it. I'm gonna probably play it. Arsenal's gonna score, right? We can assume that Jordan Pickford, he's the most overrated goalie in all Premier League. I think he sucks, and I know he's like the English team captain goalie, and I also think he sucks there as well.
Oh, I know a bit for this game.
What you got, Al?
Both teams to score. Where is just both teams to score?
I bet you it's minus 140. I bet you it's not that good.
Both teams to score is plus 118.
Let's do that. Both teams to score.
I'm in on that. On that.
Which game are you guys talking about?
Everton, Arsenal. Both teams to score. Plus 118. It's worth the risk.
Everton's going to score. I do. I think
Arsenal's been giving up goals. They have been a little vulnerable in the back end to teams with a decent offense. Everton does have an okay offensive presence.
This is more confidence of Everton getting their act together lately and Arsenal not being very good defensively.
I'm still betting Malpay to score. I'm gonna bet Malpay to score. Whenever his next goal is happening, I'm gonna have a bet on it.
Let's take a different angle.
And then I'm gonna stop betting it after that.
I think my angle was wrong. Everton is in a relegation battle. They know how important these next few games are going to be in order for them to stay out of relegation. I think they're going to fight and get some goals out of this. At least one. Is that better?
I think a 1-1 draw could happen here. I think a 1-1 draw could happen.
That's what Al said. Plus 420. We're just sitting here circular reasoning our own gambling.
So Everton has scored 3 goals in their last 6 matches.
That's better than Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea scored 3 goals in the last 3 months.
Yeah. Clearly, everyone has a leaning. Everyone but Andy.
No thoughts on the Premier League, Andy.
No.
Not willing to get out there if you don't have anything to say, huh?
No, go Leeds.
Oh, they play Chelsea. You son of a bitch this weekend. Bastard. All right. I have nothing else. You guys have anything?
Well, I'm going to bet on Leeds this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Leeds is already out of the relegation spot. They're a whole point up on Everton, so I think I'm feeling pretty good about that one.
New manager.
That's not going to hold, bud. That's not going to hold.
Oh, you guys want to go over your bet standings? What was the exact bet? I can't remember.
I gave Al like the most ridiculous bet ever. And it was, I said both Everton and West Ham would not, right? I said both Everton and West Ham would not be relegated. Was that right?
I think so. And then you said Leeds would.
And Leeds would, I believe.
The bottom of the table currently looks like this: Southampton at 18, Bournemouth at 21, Everton at 21. Leeds is at 22 with a -10 differential. So their differential's better than Everton currently. Leeds gives up a gang of goals. Oh, Chelsea over? Nah, not this weekend.
Chelsea over?
Over they give up the most goals. No, that's not true.
Might bet Chelsea over half a goal.
We do score. Wow, we're gonna start off March with a goal. That's crazy. And then
Chelsea and Malpay are due.
West Ham is 1 point above them at 23, and Wolves is 24. I think Danny was relegating Wolves. Is that correct? And Al, I don't remember.
No, I was only relegating one team. I was relegating Leeds.
You were relegating
because when we signed my boy, come on, American midfielder, my favorite, McKinney. When we signed Weston McKinney, I was upset. Or when they signed Weston McKinney, I was upset because I thought he would help them, but he hasn't.
They won last game. They got the new manager bump. It doesn't matter. Al, do you remember it, or should we just close this bitch out?
No, I think that's right.
I said it already.
What was Al's stake?
It was mine.
We took 4 beers.
Oh, the steak.
The steaks are 4 beers.
I think it was 4 beers. Yeah.
4 Guinnesses next week.
After the 9 or including the 9?
13 Guinnesses next week. All right, everyone, we good?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening to ChuggieBets. Like, share, do all that good shit. We love y'all. And good night, Joey.
Good night, Cactus.
Good night.
Oh, yeah. Good night, Cactus.